The names and addresses of thousands of broadband customers have been leaked on the internet alongside the titles of pornographic films. The leaked list was compiled by a law firm which has been taking controversial legal action against alleged illegal downloaders. The Information Commissioner has started an investigation.
Leaked onto the net, thousands of names and addresses of broadband customers, and alongside them, the titles of pornographic films. The list has been posted on sites like the Pirate Bay after an apparent security breach at ACS Law. The firm has mounted controversial legal actions against people suspected of illegally downloading and sharing films and music on the internet.
ACS Law says it's been the subject of a criminal attack on its systems. But privacy campaigners say this kind of sensitive information should never have been so easy to extract from its website. Now the Information Commissioner is promising an investigation.
Sky says it's very concerned about the apparent security breach. The company says it only provides details of broadband customers suspected of illegal downloading after receiving a court order, and then only in encrypted form. The drive against illegal file sharing is about to be stepped up, but this case may increase concerns that people could end up being stigmatised for something they may not have done. Rory Catlin-Jones, BBC News.
Yes, and we're talking to the Information Commissioner at about 8:10.
The list was compiled by a law firm which specialises in pursuing alleged downloaders.
Joining us now from our Manchester newsroom is the UK Information Commissioner Christopher Graham. Very good morning to you, Mr. Graham. This sounds, on the face of it, some people are saying this is the most serious breach of information, leaked information we've ever seen, given the circumstances. How do you look at this?
Well, on the face of it, it looks pretty serious, but obviously we've got to investigate, and I don't want to rush to judgment. But all companies have got to take privacy very seriously. I'm not getting involved in the issues of copyright or the issues of accessing porn, but there's a simple privacy point here. Companies hold our information. They've got to keep it secure, and the question we'll be asking was how secure was this information? How was it so easily accessed from outside?
Yes, I know you're just about to start the investigation. Can you clarify the areas, specifically areas you're looking at?
Well, we'll obviously be asking questions about the adequacy of encryption of information, the firewall, the technology, but also the training in the company, and what all that information was doing, so public-facing, so easily accessed, if that is what has happened. But we've got to aim off a little bit for the fact there's a lot of campaigning here about action against file sharing and so on. I'm really not involved in that, but the privacy issue is of general application, and the Information Commissioner has got the power, and very significant power, to take action. I mean, I can levy fines of up to £500,000 on companies that are flouting the Data Protection Act.
Now, the ACS Law, from whom this information emerged, say they have been the victim of a criminal attack. Now, is that in itself enough of an explanation? I mean, on the basis of that, the suggestion seems to be that, on that basis, any information, anywhere, anytime, can be accessed, which is a pretty alarming prospect.
Well, that's why that excuse doesn't wash, but I really can't comment on this particular case. But speaking generally, companies, particularly controversial companies with opponents, are subject to cyber attack. And we've got to have in place adequate firewalls and protection and procedure and staff training, and also what we call data minimization. What are we doing holding all this information anyway? Is it still of use to a company? Should we be getting rid of it? But a data protection principle, absolutely fundamental principle, is that you have to keep people's personal data secure. And so breaches, losses, however they're occasioned, whether it's leaving a laptop on the train or dropping a disk in a car park, this is serious stuff. And anyone who holds personal information has got to take their responsibilities seriously, or they're in trouble.
You're the Information Commissioner, and there is a sort of nightmare vision that people have. And this is treading in that territory, isn't it? The idea that this information began as encrypted information held by someone, and lo and behold, a couple of steps down the line, it's just out there. It is ultimately what we're all terrified of, isn't it?
Well, I mean, that's why we have the Data Protection Act, and that's why you have the Information Commissioner, to make online work, because we're all doing more and more stuff, banking, paying, as we heard just now, paying your council tax in Bath and North East Somerset, online. And so companies, if they want to take advantage of trading online, have got to stick to the Data Protection Act, and that's why we've got very strict and severe rules. I mean, do you know, today is International Right to Know Day. I'd also like it to be National Get It Right Day for companies, because there's far too much of this carelessness and laziness and cavalier attitudes towards people's personal data, bank accounts, names, addresses,
one
and so
last
on.
question, if I may. ACS Law, I mean, if it's found that they've made mistakes in looking after the information, can you put them out of business?
I can't put them out of business, but I mean, I don't refer to this particular company, but a company that is hit by a fine of up to £500,000 suffers real reputational damage. And really, I think all companies and all organisations, whether it's local councils or commercial organisations, have got to think about how does this look to our customers, to our constituents, to our citizens. We need to take this seriously. We need to get it right, even before the Information Commissioner gets involved.
Christopher Graham, UK Information Commissioner, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Charlie.
International need to